Hello and welcome to the Spiritual View. I'm Jennifer Halliburton with the Awakened Gen Tarot, and I'm one of the hosts of the Spiritual View. So today we're going to be doing Twin Flame Tuesday. And before we get started, I want us to go over what we have going on the channel. So if you are new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. So the Spiritual View is a collective of 7 talented readers and spiritual guides, each bringing a unique blend of modalities to support you on your journey. From tarot and oracle cards to numerology, astrology, channeled messages, and even Akashic records, and sometimes we even throw in some yoga. Each of us takes a day of the week to provide you with the daily videos, offering insights and guidance to help you navigate your week. Join us on our live card pool days on Mondays at 10 a.m. Eastern and Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern, where we can connect with you in real time. We will be pulling cards for the viewers on those days. And then don't miss our monthly collaboration episodes, airing on the third Friday of each month at 6 p.m. Eastern. These educational sessions are not only informative, but they also give you the chance to win from our monthly tarot reading giveaway. Our latest episode, episode 6, Portal to Destiny, aired last Friday. So be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and share that video to be entered to win the giveaway. We'll be announcing the winner of that on this Friday's live. All right. So now then, if you will take 3 deep breaths with me and do the invocation to call in the spirit team. All right. So close your eyes and breathe in. That's 1. Breathe in. That's 2. Breathe in. That's 3. I now call in my angels, archangels, ascended masters, my higher self, and guardian angels to please enter this present space and time. I call upon Archangel Michael to place a bubble of protection around us. Only beings of the highest vibration of pure love and light may enter in. So be it. All right, so today we're going to be doing the twin flame reading, and I have been breaking it up into 3 different sections. So for those that are in no contact, for those that are in separation, so you have some contact, but you're not together. And then for those that are in union, and this is not necessarily harmonious union, but you are in relationship of some sort. All right, and so we're going to be starting with those that are in no contact, and I'm going to be using several different cards for this reading. So I've got my Twin Flame Ascension deck, my Romance Angel Oracle deck, Wild Reflections Tarot, the Healing Waters deck, and this came from a friend, and so I just want to give a shout out and thank you so much. I'm loving these cards. They are beautiful. And then I always close this out with the Art of Manifestation Oracle. All right, so we're going to get started with those that are in no contact, and I've already pulled the cards to make it easier. All right, so we're going to start with pulling from the Twin Flame Ascension. And so for those that are in no contact, the current energy of the connection is awareness. It says crystal clear vision. And so, I mean, I think that we are becoming aware, and especially as I'm looking at the rest of the stuff that's coming out, we are becoming more aware, more conscious of what is actually happening in this connection. I think that we're understanding the separation better at this point. I don't think that it's affecting us as quite as deeply as it has been. All right, so let's see. Awareness. That is page 28. All right. Developing conscious awareness starts with your ability to tune inward and integrate the state of your mind, body, heart, and soul, which provides you introspective consciousness in regards to your universe and how it aligns with your physical reality. This requires that you are present, which enables you to see everything from a higher perspective. This card indicates that you are in need to take inventory of your internal and external surroundings. Pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, actions, and how you view the world. Use your expanded awareness to help you rise above logical limitations and tap into your own creative abilities that will bring your desires into form. Viewing your life from a heightened state generates power in your present moment so that your soul can evolve further and faster. Crystal clear vision eliminates confusion that has blocked your ability to move forward with confidence in the direction of your soul path. If you stay consistent, your accumulated efforts will create exponential growth that will lead you towards your infinite possibilities. And so you are becoming aware. And I think that, especially in the separation, this is where you become aware of how truly connected you really are to your counterpart. And so, no matter how far apart you get, no matter how long the distance is, and no matter how, you know, silent the silence is, you still feel that connection. You still feel the heart connection with that other person. And so because of that, that's part of the purpose of going through these separation periods is it lets you see this whole twin flame um, journey in a much different way. Because I mean, when we're in the moment where okay, so when we do come into contact, that's when all of the triggering starts, or we get just so obsessed with that other person that we forget our own personal parts that we're supposed to be playing. And so, in the separation, that gives you time to really just work on yourself for a while, really focus on yourself for this time. And that is a gift that you're supposed to be using and not something that you're just supposed to be bringing you down, lowering your vibration. You're actually supposed to be increasing your vibration during this time, increasing your awareness, increasing your consciousness. And so the more that you can learn and grow and expand, the um the more that you're going to get out of what the purpose of this whole separation really is. All right, so for the feminine, I pulled with the Romance Angel Oracle. So the feminine's energy right now is separation. So I feel like a lot of feminines really have gotten fed up with the way that the masculines have been showing up or not showing up. And they are taking matters into their own hands. They're understanding that they are not powerless here, that they actually have options too. And one of the options is that they can be the ones that are, choosing the separation, choosing to be apart for a time so that you can work on yourself or you can focus on other things, or you could just give yourself a little bit of relief from, the pressure, the high triggering energy that comes out in these connections. So for the masculine, I pulled this with the Romance Angel Oracle. They have pay attention to the red flags. And so since we are in separation right now, this has to be another connection that they're dealing with, and they need to be paying attention because they're going to end up getting right back into a karmic situation if they're not careful. Okay, so the next card I pulled, let's see, with the Wild Reflections Tarot. So, what are the challenges or blocks at this time? And so we have the 10 of Pentacles. And so the 10 of Pentacles means it's about your stability, it's about your family. This is your foundations. And so the blocks right now is that I don't feel like you're on a good foundation. And there could even be some family issues here that are connected with this. There may even be like your family doesn't approve of them, their family doesn't approve of you. That could be one of the things, one of the blocks that's pulling up with this. It could also be children. If you have children, either either you or the other has children, that could be playing into this as well. Um, it's something about just your home life right now. That's what your focus is on. Getting your stability back underneath you so that you know, like, okay, this part of my life is taken care of. Because I feel like that we did get, especially when we were in that chaser energy, we kind of lost our focus on a lot of the other parts of our lives that do still matter. And so this has given us that opportunity to really set our foundations, get it right, so that when we are ready for union, this part is in order. Okay, so the next card out is the guidance for healing. And I pulled this with the Healing Waters Oracle. So, this is how we can heal any emotional wounds or energetic blocks within the connection. And we have the Owl of Avalon, healing, return to wholeness, transformation. And that is a beautiful card. And it's almost like a portal. Yeah, there is a portal in that as well. Okay. Owl of Avalon. That is page 94. Okay. Legend says that Avalon was the island where Britain's mythical King Arthur was taken after being fatally wounded in his final battle. First mentioned in Geoffrey of Monmouth's fictional The History of the King of Britain, 1136, Avalon is said to have been ruled by the powerful enchantress Morgan le Fay and her 8 sisters, thought by many to be high priestesses, who were widely renowned for their tremendous healing abilities. Some believe that the Owl of Avalon, which is also known as the Owl of Apples and the Owl of the Dead, is a mythical place of healing that exists beyond the veil. Others say that it exists in the physical. Avalon and its healing spring waters have been identified as Glastonbury in Somerset, southwest England, and even today pilgrims travel to the town. It's believed that this sacred place of healing was once surrounded by water and could only be reached by boat. This is a card of great healing and an invitation to see your healing in a is an opportunity for great transformation. The that perhaps the parts of you that feel as if they're dying are actually being born anew. Maybe this healing journey is taking you somewhere truly glorious, somewhere sacred deep within. Healing Waters activation. I surrender to my healing. I activate the sacred intelligence within the waters of my body. I call in the support that's most helpful. I believe in my ability to transform and heal. And so, like I was saying earlier, there is purpose in the separation, and it is about getting the awareness of what this connection really is, what the purpose of the connection really is. And then there's the healing that is taking place. And so, that's part of your ascension. And it's not even just your healing that's needed. You got to understand your counterpart is doing their healing too. So, this is where this is taking place in the separation. We're doing our work, especially the feminines. The feminines heal in separation, the masculines heal in union. But what the feminines are doing in that separation is also helping the masculines. So we are working on our healing. We're not going to focus on what's not in our life right now because we're too focused on what we need to be doing for ourselves. All right, so the potential outcome for the connection at this time is the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is just feeling left out in the cold. So I do feel like that this connection is still just going to be put on ice for a little bit. And I mean, like I said, the feminine right here is part of the reason why it is put on ice. So she's the one that's leaving the masculine out in the cold. All right, so I'm going to close this reading out with the Art of Manifestation Oracle. And so, what can we do to help bring our manifestations in? We have grace. When we sit in relationship with grace, we see every situation through the eyes of love, fostering our desire to meet life with understanding, compassion, and kindness. This card asks you that you view your situation with grace. Will understanding bring compassion? How would love view your possible choices? What would kindness suggest that you do? And so we're going to just give this whole thing grace. We're going to give grace to our counterpart. We're going to give grace to ourselves as we are working our way through this healing process. We're going to give grace to ourselves when we don't feel like we're doing this part well. Because, I mean, those that are truly in the no contact separation, this is painful. There are moments that the missing them just kind of overwhelms you. And so, um, give yourself grace, give them grace. Like, so you could have, tendency right now to even be angry at them, for not doing their work, not being where they need to be. But of course, they are just a mirror of us. And so if they haven't done their work, we haven't done our work. And so that anger is kind of misplaced at that point because you haven't done your part either. So we're offering a lot of grace right now. And like I said, I feel a lot of it's pouring back into us because we're offering ourselves grace for not doing better when we didn't know better. We do know better now because we're learning more every single day and we're getting greater awareness of what the purpose of this mission and this journey really is. And that is the thing that's, helping to really ascend us the most. All right. So I'm going to close this one out and then we're going to move forward with those that are in separation, but you have some sort of contact. All right. Hello, group 2. All right. So we're going to start with the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle deck, and we've pulled the current energy of this connection. And so right now we have Feminine Twin activating higher self. So the energy of the connection is in the feminine. All right, so let's see. Feminine twin activating higher self. That's page 78. Your twin flame ascension quest is directing you inward to heal your inner feminine energy so that you can come into harmonic balance with your inner masculine energy. Generally, if you are the feminine twin flame, this means that you need to let go of control and stop being the fixer of everyone and everything. This energy creates resentment, causes you to build walls of protection, and produces feelings of being taken advantage of. Focus on healing your feminine side in order to activate your higher self. Let go of conditions and learn to love without expectation. Have more respect for your feelings and set loving boundaries versus brick walls. Letting go of the need for protection will help your heart to receive and allow abundance into your life. This card suggests that if you express yourself without the fear of what others think, focus on your communication skills and start speaking from your heart. Ask for assistance when needed and allow others to support you. Keep an open heart and embody your higher self wisdom so that you can not only love, but also allow yourself to be loved. And so we do need to bring in more of that feminine energy, less of the control, less of the push, less of the force. And so we're going to be more in the receptive energy. So this is a feminine that's out of balance. She's more in her masculine at this moment. So we need to pull back and get back, grounded and rebalanced so that that masculine energy isn't pushing our actual masculines away. All right. So, the next card is the feminine energy, and I pulled it from the Romance Angel Oracle. And we have free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And so I think that, okay, because what's interesting is I'm going to go ahead and show you the masculine's card is trust. the situation is calling for you to have some faith. And so those are kind of competing energies here. The feminine is feeling like she wants to run or feeling like she needs to run. This could be the resentment that's showing up because she's too much in her masculine energy. She's not receiving, she's doing. She's too much in the doer. And then the masculine, he has some doubt. There's some doubt that keeps creeping in, especially probably because of the energy that she is showing up with this um, that masculine energy, the resentment. And so with the masculine needing to trust, there's just yeah, this whole thing is out of balance. So we've got to get balance back into this connection because I mean, yeah, that's okay. That's what I felt. Just but right there, like you see it. Right there you see it. The feminine is feeling like I need to go and the masculine is no, we need to stay. Um okay. The next card I pulled with the Wild Reflections Tarot, and it's the challenges or blocks that you're facing at this time. And so we have the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is about you need to ask for help. You need to not try to be doing everything all by yourself. That's where the resentment builds. And so you see in this card, I mean, he's trying to carry all of this heavy load all by himself. And he's probably even telling himself that, he has to do this, that nobody would help him. But did he ask or did he assume that nobody would help him? And so that's one of the big challenges right now is that you are trying to do too much on your own. So you need to pull back. You need to ask for help. You need to be honest about what you can do and what you can't do. The help is available to you. That's the one part of the message of this of the card of the Five of Pentacles is the help is available. You just have to ask for it. Okay. The next card I pulled with the Healing Waters Oracle, and it is the guidance for healing. And so this card offers guidance for healing any emotional wounds or energetic blocks. And we have the Mist, trust your inner compass, be led from within. So the Mist. That is page 108. Okay. Intuition is pointless unless we act on it, but it is rarely makes logical sense, which is why it takes faith to trust it and courage to act on it. But when we do gather up the will to act on our intuition, each and every day we'll find ourselves living a truly blessed, deeply aligned life that's led from within. I call it a soul led life. There's a golden thread before you, calling you towards it, beckoning you forth. You're being called to trust your inner compass and be led from within. Mist and fog form when it's extremely humid and the water vapor condenses to form droplets that hang in the air. When mist or fog set in, it's as if everything's hanging in a state of mystery. When we're walking in the mist, we make sure we're facing the right way, slow down, and enter a state of trust. Following our intuition is similar to that. When you may not know every step along the way or the exact destination, you're called to trust your inner compass, to trust the path will be before you and for you. Like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, following the yellow brick road, we're all being led home to ourselves and our soul's path. It just requires us to consistently trust the guidance system within. The soul inquiry is what's your intuition calling you to do right now? And so trust your intuition on this is like in both of these cards. You're needing to trust your intuition about which way you need to move forward. And even in this card too, knowing when to ask for help, knowing what areas you do need help with. So it's really trusting your intuition, really getting reconnected with your intuition. That's also the very feminine energy. So it's just coming right back to, we are too much in our masculines. And so we're too much in our masculines, we're not going to be connected with our intuition either, because we're in this drive, we're in this force, and it's almost like I see that more coming down into that the lower chakras is what I'm feeling with the masculine energy. So like the solar plexus and the root chakra and the sacral, just all that very activated. But we're missing out on all of the upper ones, and that's where the intuition is going to be at. And so that's the healing that's needed, is just getting reconnected with it, rebalanced with that masculine and feminine, and really reconnecting with the feminine so that we can get reconnected with the intuition. Okay, so the next card is the potential outcome for the connection at this time. And so we have the Four of Swords. And so we have a time of rest and a time of healing. So there may be some time apart with this. We may just be calling, "Hey, I need a break." The free yourself here, that may be the feminine saying, "Hey, I'm a little bit overstimulated. I need some time to myself so that I can really take care of getting me back, aligned correctly." Okay, so I'm going to close this out with the Art of Manifestation Oracle. And I ask, what can you do to help bring your manifestations in at this time? And we have internal dialogue. And so it's all about those things that you are telling yourself, the stories that you're telling yourself about what's happening around you. And you're making up the stories because you don't trust your intuition about it. We all have an internal dialogue within our mind, a constant stream of inner conversation. Is your dialogue kind, supportive, and affirming, or is it critical and judgmental of both yourself and others? This card asks you to listen to your inner words and, if necessary, take steps to consciously change your language. And so that's the thing. You're going to need to be mindful of that inner dialogue, what you're telling yourself about what's happening around you, what that other person wants from you or doesn't want from you. I mean, you're going to have to just really, really take those thoughts captive. And so just because the thought pops into your head doesn't mean you have to own it. You have all kinds of thoughts that come from all different places, and you do not have to take them all on. You can just let them float by. So you can let it come up. You don't even have to add an emotion to it. Just when you know it's not for you, just let it go. That was a weird thought. That was a silly thought. I don't need to do anything with it. I just need to let it go. But then we do need to know which ones we really need to pay attention to. All right, so I'm going to close this one out, and we're going to move forward with group 3, which is those that are in union, not necessarily harmonious union, but definitely some type of relationship together. All right. All right, so we are ready for group 3, and this is for those of you that are in union, not necessarily harmonious union, but you are in relationship in some way. And so I'm starting us out with the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle, and the current energy of the connection is compassion, higher heart opening. And so I do feel like that, I'm just with all of the cards that came out, there is definitely an expansion of the heart that's happening right now with this collective. All right, so we have compassion. That is page 100. Igniting your higher heart chakra activates your ability to embody the highest dimension of unconditional love, which is compassion. Aligning with the heart of the universe allows you to experience expanded states of eternal love. This requires that you heal your heart by letting go of judgment that created separation between you and your desires. This card implies that you are hiding from your emotions, or that you have numbed your ability to fully express your emotional range. When you avoid feelings such as rejection, pain, or sorrow, it also blocks your capacity to experience higher emotional dimensions. Honoring all of your emotions gives you permission to express your vulnerability so that you can embrace your journey with grace. Seeing the gift in your lessons is a way to honor your feelings, giving permission to be yourself. This card encourages that you stop judging your emotions or sabotaging your actions by paying attention to your needs. This path teaches you to accept the range of polarity between sorrow and joy. Finding forgiveness and acceptance will accelerate your journey to the heart and engender more compassion for yourself and others. And so there is definitely a heart chakra opening that's happening, an expansion that's happening, activation, all of those words. There's something happening here that is just really expanding our heart space for this collective. Okay, so for the feminine's energy, I pulled with my romance angel oracle. We have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And so I feel like that you guys are really leveling up again, that there's like a reconnection that's coming. And so getting to know each other. And for the masculine, we had playfulness. And so those are very light, fun energies. It's like a fresh start kind of energy that's coming in. It's just finding the joy again. It's almost like that honeymoon phase again. I pulled with the Wild Reflections Tarot. What are the challenges or blocks at this time? And this card actually came out in reverse, and it's the Eight of Wands. And so it's the communication. So that's the thing that you are probably struggling most with in this connection is learning how to communicate with each other to where you aren't triggering each other so badly each time, and learning how to manage those triggers when it does happen, learning not to take it and start, attacking the other person or defending yourself in some way that causes that separation to come in. So, really opening up that heart chakra even more to be able to bring in the compassion that it was talking about, to bring in grace, to bring in understanding, to bring in forgiveness, all of these things that come out of the heart. Okay, so the next card I pulled with the Healing Waters Oracle. What is our guidance for healing at this time? So, what is the guidance for any emotional wounds or energetic blocks within this connection? We have bounteous, generously given relationships coming together. I mean, that's like it's all connected so beautifully with this. Um, all right, so bounteous. And so that just feels like we are in just such a happy and abundant place. Like right now, just everything is flowing the way that we really want it to. So when we get to this, what to do to bring your manifestations in, I think you're there. I think that you are really there with your manifestations. All right, so bounteous. We have 72. When water is present, life is present. It's a gift offered to us and through us, generously offered, bountifully given. We're beginning to wake up to this precious substance that we have in our lives and never take it for granted. Clean running water is a privilege that many in the West fail to appreciate, and it's one that many around the world go without. This card encourages that you appreciate the gifts, bounty, opportunities, and privileges that are in your life, to embrace what you need, but also be generous to others who might not have what you have, to acknowledge and receive the abundance around you, but also share it, to appreciate the simple things in your life like running water. Don't hoard what you don't need. Share the plenty that surrounds you and watch as it swells and grows. Move from competition to collaboration. Rewrite the script of me against you. Welcome the wellspring that eternally bubbles up from deep within. Share what you love freely. So often, life is that much more enjoyable when it is shared with others. Where water is, life thrives. Where water flows, things are much more alive. Don't hoard or stagnate. Welcome mutual exchanges. Share what you've been blessed with and watch as everything around you and within you becomes more and more alive. How can you appreciate the bounty that's already around you? and how can you be more generous in your life? And so this is really about like counting your blessings, seeing what you already have, what is already very abundant for you. So, I mean, one of the things it was talking about water, but then we also have air. Just look at how much air is around us. We are not in lack of air at this time. Just if you have a bed, if you have food to eat, all of those things, you are in that is your abundance. That's the things, that's the blessings that you're supposed to be counting at this time. And one of the things that it was mentioning in there, it really did have me like going back when it was talking about taking for granted having running water. And so just a little bit about me is when I was a very small child, we lived in a house that didn't have running water. And so up until gosh, I was 9 maybe. Um I didn't have a bathtub in my house. We didn't have like the last house I remembered living in that didn't have running water didn't even have a toilet. It did have an outhouse outside that scared me, and then we also had a bucket. And that's terribly embarrassing to say out loud, but I mean, that's literally what this card is talking about, is appreciating what you have. And I mean, realizing that not everybody has what you have and they would give anything to have what you have. And so like I will say that story sometimes to even my children. My children will look at me like that was common for everybody. But I'm not actually that old to where that was actually the case. When it was happening to me, that wasn't really the common thing, that most people didn't have running water. Most people did. Most people absolutely had bathtubs and toilets and all of that in their home by that point. But that's not where my family was at. And I still am in this space now where I can pinch myself. Like I still feel like that little girl who was in that space, who was in this very chaotic household and had no peace, in the home. And um, again, just the lack of even, the necessities of life. And, now I can look around it now, look at how very abundant I am. I mean, I'm not lacking for water. I have, I take a bath every single night. That's how I end my evenings, is in a tub with the Himalayan salt, to help kind of, clear the energy of the day. Um, but I mean, and there was a point in my life that that was not something that I even had. And so I do try to not take it for granted. I do try to remind myself of where I have actually come from. All right, so the next card is the potential outcome for the connection, and I pulled this with the tarot, and we have the 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups is this is when you're focused on the wrong thing and you're missing out on this really great opportunity that's trying to come in and be given to you because your focus is over here. And I think that part of this is what I've been saying with this particular group anyways, is learning how to be in connection, learning that these connections are not like other connections, and so you can't compare it in that way. And so you might be looking here like this person here is like, but all other relationships have this and they do this and they, it looks like this. That's not what this relationship is. But there are blessings inside of this relationship that none of this can even give to you. And so I think that that's the thing, is that you've got to be open enough to be able to receive, to get it in ways that may not look what you think that it should be looking like. And so, I mean, I feel this energy is really great. It's the communication here. The 8 of Wands was the block because it came out in reverse. So it's just learning how to communicate with each other where you're not triggering each other, because you're always going to have some level of triggering in these connections, but it's that part. It's learning how to be in connection. Okay, so I'm closing us out with the Art of Manifestation Oracle. So I ask, what can you do to help bring your manifestations in? And we have new love. Now, I love that this looks like that was uh, God touching Adam. It's that, I can't even think of the name of that picture where you have the finger of God touching Adam's finger. I love the representation here. Um, so I don't see this as a new love. I see this as a new opening in love. So, like, we started with this heart chakra expansion with the compassion. And I just think that it's a new way of being in love, a new way of doing love, a new way of understanding love. And I just think that that's the thing. It's like, again, that heart is absolutely expanding at this time. And so, because it's expanding, we're being able to offer so much more grace. We're able to hold so much more space because it is bigger. It's big enough to hold a whole lot more without it causing the same kind of damage as it did before. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out there. Hopefully, you have found value in this. And if you did, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. You can hit the bell for notifications, and it will let you know every time we post new videos. We do our daily videos. We have our live card pulls on Mondays at 10 a.m. Eastern and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then we have our monthly collaboration episodes that we do our free giveaway on. Make sure that you go back and look at episode 6. Comment, like, share, subscribe to be entered to win for this month's giveaway. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.